With the Survivor Series this Sunday, the real reason behind Shane McMahon being added to Team Smackdown this Sunday, replacing Baron Corbin. Let's talk about it. You know, when the brand split and the brand extension happened and was in place, the reason that they did it was to move everybody in position that would give them the ultimate opportunity to succeed in the WWE. With the call-ups from NXT and the oversaturation of the rosters on Monday and on Thursday when SmackDown was on Thursday nights on the USA Network, everybody was wondering where this guy was. Where's this guy? Where's that guy? You know? We had a laundry list of names that were not being treated properly. We're not being booked correctly because the rosters were being oversaturated and WWE wanted to call up everybody from NXT and put them all on the same show. And it was still the same rinse and repeat bullshit that we see every single week. Roman Reigns gets pushed. Seth Rollins gets pushed. Kevin Owens gets pushed to the wayside. Sami Zayn is stuck in catering. Neville is stuck in catering. You know, what's going to happen with Baron Corbin? They call up Apollo Crews. They do nothing with him. He's jobbing out, etc., etc., right? So, splitting the rosters ultimately was going to give opportunity to those that weren't seeing it on Monday Night Raw and weren't seeing it on Thursday nights when SmackDown was on Thursdays. Because whatever happened on Monday would transition into Thursday. They're not going to use someone who's not really in a major storyline and put them on television on Thursday. It was always a continuation from Monday to Thursday. Or at least I hope so. It didn't come off that way, but that's the way it should have been booked. But guys like The Miz, guys like Dolph Ziggler, guys like Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews and Neville and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and The Ascension and Tyler Breeze, Fandango, American Alpha, guys like that, the Vaudevillains, AJ Styles, you know, Bray Wyatt is another one, another major one. All of these guys should be utilized in a way in which they were not being utilized when the rosters were one. And that was the main thing about the brand split that I did like. I wasn't sure if WWE was going to be able to pull it off. And I stand here and I'm looking directly into the camera and I'm telling you WWE still has not pulled it off. You know, everything that was supposed to be is still not. And we're going into the Survivor Series on Sunday and WWE still doesn't know what they want to do with the brand split and this whole brand extension. There's rumors going around that Vince McMahon wants to, again, reshuffle the rosters next year. I don't know if this is going to be a yearly thing, but as of right now, it has to be a yearly thing because WWE didn't get the first year right. So reshuffling and reorganizing and switching things up is going to be in the cards because any fucking idiot can see they're not doing what needs to be done. The draft was put together last minute. And still people on the roster are not being utilized. The best thing about this and the most alarming situation about this smacked us all in the face on SmackDown, coincidentally. Reason behind Shane McMahon joining SmackDown Live Survivor Series team, replacing Baron Corbin. There was a reason that WWE removed Baron Corbin and replaced him with Shane McMahon. According to sources, the change was done to help Survivor Series numbers. That's the top of the list right there. To help Survivor Series numbers. I don't get that at all. Because you're building fantasy warfare with Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg. That match alone is why people are going to tune into this pay-per-view. That match alone is going to be the reason why people buy the network and sign up for the free month of the network and buy it on pay-per-view if you don't want the network. They want to see Goldberg in a WWE ring after 12 years. They want to see Brock Lesnar tear this guy to shreds. That's the reason why they're buying this pay-per-view. They're not buying this pay-per-view to see all the other jumbled fucking chaotic messes that WWE is putting on that night and calling Survivor Series brand warfare. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. When you're headlining this show with Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, everything else should be, a little bit easier to digest, It should be one of those situations where WWE isn't afraid to take chances. Push a young guy. Put a young guy in a position he's not used to. See how he does. Put a young guy in a main event situation and see what happens. See how the crowd reacts to him. WWE had that leisure to do that at Survivor Series, and they just completely backtracked on everything. And that's what pisses me off. That's what makes me understand that WWE doesn't know what they're doing. They don't care for a brand extension. They don't care for pushing new guys. They want the McMahons up front, as always. They want to continue shoving Roman Reigns down our throat, as evidenced on Monday Night Raw. This guy is so fucking protected, it is absolutely nauseating. There's no reason for Roman Reigns to be standing tall over your brand's champion in this big showdown between Raw and SmackDown. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. He was supposed to eat a Sister Abigail, and he just fucking Superman punches his way and clears the fucking ring. And then he powerbombs Seth Rollins, right? Or he powerbombs, or where the fuck he powerbombed? With the help of Seth Rollins, over the top rope, and they stand tall. I mean, how much more protected is this guy going to be? It's ridiculous. Absolutely nauseating. Yeah, but the brand extension is supposed to help build new stars. I don't see no new stars being built up. I see the same stars being shoved down our fucking throat. And it's sickening. Now, obviously, Shane McMahon has not wrestled since The Undertaker, and has lost to The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania 32. However, he did sort of steal the show in an otherwise awful fucking match. That Hell in a Cell match was fucking disgusting. The only thing that we watched was Shane McMahon jump off 25 feet, and that's the only thing that kept people interested. That's the only thing that people talk about during that match. Nothing else in that match did anything to invest you in what they were doing. Shane McMahon was being booked. He was the announced opponent for The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell. You piece the fucking puzzle together. Okay, Shane McMahon's a fucking stunt artist. He's a death-defying fucking freak of nature. He doesn't give a shit what the fuck he does with his body. Of course he's going to jump off the cell. And that was the only thing people still talk about and highlight from that match. The match was terrible. The feeling is that this change will help draw attention to the men's match more on top of the numbers that will come in due to Shane wrestling. I doubt it. I honestly doubt that. Of course, the event is being sold a lot on the Brock Lesnar vs. Goldberg main event, so numbers may not go up a ton with Shane McMahon returning to the ring. So why take out Baron Corbin? Why take out a guy who needs to be pushed, should be pushed due to the brand initiative, or the brand split initiative, and replace him with Shane McMahon? So, they're already stating that WWE has made no sense of this whatsoever. Many fans, though, are happy to see Shane. Yeah, many fans who don't realize how damaging it is and how fucking illogical it is. It's stupid. The weird part about this is that they took Baron Corbin out of the match. Most feel that this is odd, considering the company being so high on the young star. They had him win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which does nothing to anybody's career. It's absolutely fucking embarrassing, at WrestleMania 32. And have given him a relatively good platform since joining SmackDown. That said, the goal has been to ready him for championships by next year. With this being November and the Big Four pay-per-views, or at least Survivor Series being one of the Big Four pay-per-views, we're going into another one of the Big Four pay-per-views, the Royal Rumble. It is odd that WWE would not want to feature him in a major match. He could have done wonders in that match. He could have made SmackDown look legit if you gave this guy the opportunity to do so. Have him step up to Roman Reigns. Have him step up to a Seth Rollins. Have him be the enforcer for SmackDown as he goes against Baron Corbin. Or as he goes against Braun Strowman, does Baron Corbin. I don't understand that. Why would you take that away from him? That match alone would have made a new star. Look at what it did for Dolph Ziggler when he beat fucking Team Authority. 1 against 4. He defeated everybody. Yes, it was with Sting's help. But Dolph Ziggler was the last man standing. And everybody went fucking crazy over that situation. You could have did something along those lines, not as epic as that, but something along those lines with Baron Corbin to the point where people know this guy is legit. They fucked it all up. Now, when's the next opportunity going to come around for this guy? And is it going to be better than what they originally gave him? Probably not. So I don't understand that at all as a fan. It is being said, though, that WWE has no issue with Corbin and still have big plans for him. I did report on Off the Script that WWE is planning to get him and John Cena in a feud for the Royal Rumble. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. So that remains to be seen. We have a lot more television to get to the Royal Rumble. The removal was only done for business reasons and had nothing to do with how they felt about Corbin. Maybe this time it should have been about the product and the talent instead of business. Your business on this night is Brock Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg. That is what's going to sell your business. Everything else is unimportant. You had the opportunity and you had the leisure to do something against the grain, and you did not do it. And I hate when they do things like this. That is good news for Corbin and his fans, of course. Meanwhile, it does seem weird the way that he was removed. He hurt himself, quote unquote, and Kalisto just sort of made his own injury worse. People say Kalisto got his revenge, but did he really, when he didn't even do anything other than hit the leg a few times after Corbin went down? The weird part is that we're somehow supposed to believe Shane McMahon is an upgrade in some way to his team. In some ways he is, in some way he is not. Obviously, he's not the size of Baron Corbin, but for someone who is Shane McMahon and his character that is portrayed on television, he will do whatever it takes, whatever needs to be done to solidify a victory. So that intrigue alone is the only upgrade to Baron Corbin. What is this guy going to do to solidify a victory for SmackDown? I honestly think Shane McMahon being in this match is going to help SmackDown win, but it should have been Baron Corbin. Corbin was a young beast of a man who had size, strength, and youth on his side. Shane is in his 40s. And while he may be in the best shape of his life, he is by no means an upgrade to the team. Only upgrade, like I said, is the unpredictability that he's going to bring to the match. Consisting of some great workers such as AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, and Dean Ambrose that he will be partnering with at the Survivor Series. While the respect for Shane McMahon is felt throughout the team, not just due to his commissioner status, but also due to his history with WWE. There is some doubt among fans. Will Shane be helpful in this environment? This is not even the first time he would wrestle for his own team at Survivor Series. Years ago, during the Invasion angle, Shane wrestled for Team Alliance as they took on Team WWF for supremacy. Shane felt like a liability in that match considering the talent on both sides. Keep in mind, names like The Rock, Chris Jericho, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, Kurt Angle were all part of this match. Shane was just sort of there. While people respected that he was willing to fight for his team and put his destiny in his own hands, Team Alliance also lost. The question we have to wonder right now is, will history repeat itself yet again? Will Team SmackDown Live go down now that the curse of Shane McMahon is on their team? They're already at odds, even when they had Baron Corbin around. Team Raw consists of Kevin Owens, who is the Universal Champion. It doesn't really matter if he's a Universal Champion or not. He's not positioned as the main guy on the team, yet he is the team captain. Yet Roman Reigns is still standing tall over the team captain for Team Raw. Doesn't make any sense. Roman Reigns, United States Champion, Jericho, Rollins, and Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman is being built up very nicely. They could have did the same to Baron Corbin. Will the addition of Shane McMahon make the loss worse? You guys know how I feel about this. I spread it out all through this news article. I don't like it. The only thing that I like is that it brings unpredictability to this match, in a match otherwise nobody cares about. I mean, I think it's going to be an epic showdown. I said the same thing about John Cena's team versus the Authority when Ziggler pinned Seth Rollins to pretty much reclaim that victory for Team Cena. I went into that match thinking it wasn't going to be good because the Authority angle was running so fucking dry by that point. And the match actually ended up surprising me with, Mark Henry and the Big Show on Team Authority. It actually surprised me, and it was a very, very good match. I hope this one does the same thing. But there's really not any meaning to this. I mean, you read the SmackDown, which we've all been enjoying a lot more than Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw is fucking garbage. I mean, just take a look at the crowd in Buffalo on Monday Night Raw last night. They were cheering for the fucking SmackDown team. They know Raw is garbage. They'd rather see the SmackDown guys. How are you gonna cheer for the opposing team that you're attending a Raw show? You're attending a Raw show, but you're opposing, but you're cheering for SmackDown, and you're going against the show that you're actually there to watch. It doesn't make any sense. If that alone doesn't tell you that Raw is in shambles, I don't know what else to fucking tell you. The show is god-awful. Absolutely god-awful. And they did nothing to build Survivor Series last night at all. They used this, can the heels and faces coexist on the same fucking team? And they spread that across 3 hours. And that's what killed the momentum of the show. That's what killed the fans' interest of the show, because they didn't know who the fuck to cheer for. Do I cheer this guy? Do I boo that guy? And then Roman Reigns is standing tall in the end. They're booing the fuck out of Team Raw and Roman Reigns, the way they went off the air. And then they had this State of the Union WWE address, State of the WWE Universe address, whatever the fuck it was called. Right? And I caught it last night. I did watch it after I did my review. And it was it was like one of those political debates you've seen with Trump and Hillary Clinton. Nothing but fucking words coming out. Fucking people trying to talk over one another. Stephanie McMahon sitting there. She's trying to remain in character and stay on point. Team Raw is going to win. We're going to go into Survivor Series Sunday. We're going to beat your ass. You know, it went back and forth between Mick Foley and Daniel Bryan. You know? Mick Foley starting it all off saying that you didn't even want the position as GM. You didn't want the position as GM, and now you're proud of Team SmackDown. And then Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan seems like a fucking genuine swell individual. But when you get this guy started, he's gonna spit his venom at you. You know, this was evidenced by the Miz situation. You're gonna fucking poke at him about something that is really fucking close to his vest, and he's gonna fucking snap. And that's what Mick Foley did. You don't even want the position as GM, and now you're proud of your team, right? You're all SmackDown, you're all WWE, and then Daniel Bryan says, listen, Mick, who the fuck are you speaking to? You know, who the fuck are you talking to like that? You left your GM position and you went to go wrestle for TNA. Because WWE didn't want to put you in the ring anymore as an active performer. So he stuck it to Mick Foley then. And then he continued, you know, I got people on your roster who want to come over to SmackDown because you're not treating your guys the way that they should be treated. Sami Zayn and Cesaro, who he called by his first name, Claudio. He said these guys came up to him in the back and want to be moved over to SmackDown because that's where we treat talent correctly. That's where we showcase the most important thing about this company, wrestling. And Mick Foley and Daniel Bryan continued to go on and on and on, trying to talk over one another. It was comical. But everybody watching, everybody sitting here watching me, it's hard to argue what Daniel Bryan is saying. Everything he said was right. And they know. The funny thing is, everybody sitting there knows that Daniel Bryan is right, but no change is made to these shows. Nothing is made to make the talent the most important. You know? It's all about Stephanie. It's all about Shane. It's all about the McMahons. It's all about Monday Night Raw. The talent and wrestling is fucking last on the list. Everything else is more important than wrestling on Monday Night Raw. They'd rather fucking have the New Day cart out fucking toys and self-promote themselves than put on actual good storylines that we could all be, you know what, I'm proud to be a wrestling fan. Meanwhile, half of us are reaching for the fucking remote control trying to shut this shit off. Give me a break. Give me a break. The State of the Union thing last night was more entertaining than the entire 3-hour show of Monday Night Raw. But it's hard to argue that Daniel Bryan is wrong. You know? And more people need to speak up like that. You know, we were all invested. You know how many fucking people came to me on Twitter this morning? JD, did you watch the State of the Union address, WWE Universe? Of course I did. Of course I did. And now you know what I've been saying for fucking years. When you add a dose of real life situations and real life feelings into something, we are more inclined to go out there and watch it and be invested in it. This is what they need. Whatever they did last night, whether it was half shoot, half work, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know, there was some real life elements in there. Most of it was a fucking work. They wanted to get everybody riled up. This is, you know, it's brand supremacy. But if you add a dose of real life, you know, situations and circumstances into what is going on with your shows, people will gravitate towards that. Whatever they did last night and whatever they've been doing on Talking Smack needs to be on SmackDown and Monday Night Raw. And how they haven't figured that out yet, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. I don't know how anybody can be okay with the current direction of this company and the decisions that are making, especially with something like this, because of the numbers. The numbers are being built because of Lesnar and Goldberg. Nobody gives a fuck about Shane McMahon. So why is this even an issue? When you have the opportunity to build someone, do it. Not many opportunities are going to come along like that. And Raw has failed. immensely on every situation. Where's Neville? What is Zayn doing? You know, where are your tag teams? There's no tag teams on Monday Night Raw. What happened to Gallows and Anderson? They're not building stars. They're not legitimizing talent. And I don't know what else to tell you guys. If you don't see it, look at the whole Cruiserweight division. Awful. And it's not even their fault. You got these guys on Monday Night Raw wrestling mat fucking technical wrestling. Meanwhile, you can go and watch the Kota Ibushi Cedric Alexander match. That is the definition of what we should be seeing on Monday Night Raw. That alone, you take that match and you put it in any arena, in any fucking city across this country, and people will be invested in that, in what those two guys did, because of what they did in that ring. Meanwhile, WWE was trying to force the initiative upon everybody else. Storylines and terrible acting and mat wrestling and the Monday Night Raw style. This is not a WWE style. Well, then you fucked up the whole division. Everybody in this company is fucking clueless. And as a fan of close to 30 years, I am not going to stop telling you what needs to be said. Because nobody else is going to do it. This company, I thought 2015 was bad. 2016 trumps 2015. Awful. And there's no hope in sight. There is no hope in sight. You want to go listen to somebody else while they spew bullshit and fucking, get on their hands and knees and fucking suck that proverbial WWE cock? You can do that. You want to come over to me and fucking reside on Logic Island? That's fine. Because we're going to be the ones here to tell you exactly how it is. And if you don't like it, then that means, obviously, I'm right. Because whatever you're watching, clearly you're watching the wrong fucking program. And that's my rant. That's the fucking reason behind Shane McMahon joining SmackDown and Team SmackDown at Survivor Series. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. I'm going to leave you a poll. I'm going to leave you a poll in the video. Would you rather have Shane McMahon or Baron Corbin on Team SmackDown? And do you think that WWE made the right decision here by including Shane McMahon? Guarantee you, most of you will say, no, JD, they made the wrong decision. But that is the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down below. Hit that thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Please support the Patreon, patreon.com/JD206. If you guys want more great content coming to you, please make sure to check that out. If you guys don't want to do that, Pro Wrestling Tees and Barbershop Window. Barbershopwindow.com is the official partner of Off the Script. Make sure you guys get your merchandise. Follow me on Twitter at JD206. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't know what you're waiting for. And I will be back, obviously, tonight with SmackDown Live Review. Return of The Undertaker. I'm hearing that they're not going to announce his WrestleMania 33 opponent. Hopefully, it is going to set up a match with AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble that I pitched, which will lead The Undertaker to win the WWE Championship, go on to WrestleMania, lose it to John Cena, and retire on top. That's what I want to happen. That's what I think is the best thing right now for The Undertaker. Cutting edge with Edge and Team SmackDown, and then obviously the Intercontinental Championship match between Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. Going to be a action-packed, newsworthy show for SmackDown Live. I'll be reviewing it right here tonight, so don't go anywhere. I'll see you guys around 11 p.m. tonight for SmackDown review, man. I'm JD. Thank you guys so much. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you tonight after SmackDown Live.